Alright, since it's nice and sunny out, I figured I'd do a quick interior review. Got the plastic off now too, so there it is. Still got this shit on the windows from the window sticker, but I'll get it off. But I sprayed it down at the car wash place. Looks a lot better. I'll eventually detail it today if I get time. So, alright. Here's the, do a little explanation of the interior here. Let me start it up. Alright, let me get this. You got a Subaru startup screen, you can change it apparently, which is kind of cool. Change it whatever the hell you want. So, anyways, so Rich, you were asking about center stack on this. Oh, by the way, Rozzy, big fuck face, this isn't fake. So, thought I'd get that out there. About the center stack, Rich, you were asking. This just turns all your shit off. You can turn on with your fan then. But basically, this is your temperature for both sides. You hit dual, you can change each one independently. Or if you just hit this one separately, it will too. That syncs it up in-car AC, rear defrost. Down here you got a little USB and auxiliary in. And just a little shitty cubby hole. Up top is the radio and everything, navigation. You basically got your navigation, which isn't bad. It's a little ghetto looking in its interface, but not too bad. It's got a really shitty voice recognition I don't use really. And then your audio, you got a satellite, you got AM, FM. You got your Bluetooth for your phone. Just trying to transfer my phone doesn't link up with it right. It just constantly keeps disconnecting. I don't know what's wrong with it yet. Might be my phone, but I'll figure it out. Down here you got your seat heaters. You got you got 12 volt outlet here. You got another one in the glove box too. On the gauges, you've got a big RPM dial in the middle. You got an analog speedometer to the left. By RPM dial, I mean tachometer. You got digital speedometer too, and then you can change your little display here at the bottom. I'm 65 miles now. You can change it to your average miles per gallon, your rev, which is kind of cool. Outside temperature, average miles per gallon. You can switch back and forth between kilometers per hour. Down here you got a little, adjust your headlights up and down. So you actually adjust it with load. If you fully load up people and luggage, you can aim them higher up. It's kind of interesting. What else? I think that's it really. Navigation system's it's alright. It's not great, but it's kind of cool to have it in car for a change. Yeah, my phone's not even connecting. But yeah, so that's about it for the interior. Now for the goody stuff. Since I work in interiors, I figured I'd a little lesson on how they make all this kind of cool things. So this top part, it's soft. It's got a soft touch, kind of rubbery. This is like what they call a cast skin system. So either they take like pellets or like powder of the material, and they basically melt it and either pour it in or they spray it into a mold, and out pops an entire skin. That's the full length of the car, so it goes from edge to edge for the instrument panel up here. Then they do what's called a foam in place behind it to give us a soft feel. So they have like a plastic underlying substrate, and they'll put that behind the skin, and then they'll shoot foam in between the two. And what you're left is basically just one big piece, and then they have to go out and router trim and cut all these openings out after the fact. Otherwise the foam would leak through there. So it's all sealed at first, they come through and cull these out later. The cluster hood is actually just painted plastic. I don't think it's actually painted. I'd like to take this off eventually, make patterns and put it in the same sort of Alcantara and leather material with a red stitch line to match the rest of the interior. Match the steering wheel here and the shift boots, and so yeah, so this is basically a cast skin with a foam in place is the technology used for most of this stuff. This is just a painted plastic. There's no real metal to it, obviously. I'd like to try and change this. I've seen a few guys paint them already, and they actually look better, I think, than this cheap silver. This is still the cast skin system. This lower stuff is usually just molded color. They just mold the material in the right color. Sometimes it's painted. Hard to tell a lot of times. These down here by the door, the speaker grills in the Toyota GT86. Actually, these are soft wrapped with red stitching, and same with the inner panels here. So they're gonna sell them. I might pick them up if they're cheap enough, but it'd make it look a little nicer. And yeah. So other things, this door panel. This is basically the same way they're doing those knee bolsters that they sell overseas. This is basically what we call like a bilaminate skin material. It feels like it's usually a polyurethane or a PVC, some sort of vinyl, or a olefin base like a TPO or a TPE. And a bilaminate means there's just a layer of foam on the back side of it. I'm guessing this is actually a polyurethane with an open cell polyurethane foam laminated on the back side of it. And then this stitch line, it's not functional at all. It's just a decorative stitch, just one stitch around. It's not sewing together. And they just wrap it. Not too hard. That's basically what I want to do with